Hello and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't heard breaking news, there has been a massive data breach with a company called Canvas. Now, I know many of you that are watching my channel right now, you ain't school age anymore, but that's okay. You probably got grandkids or children that are school age. And so 270 million records were just stolen. And it's not so much that the data has been stolen, that's the issue, is what the criminals can do with it and what they normally do with that data. So stay with me in this video because I'm going to show you exactly what they could potentially do with this data, which is information you need to know to protect yourself. And at the same time, we are live. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat for me. I'm going to open my chat up so I can see all of your comments and be able to answer any questions for you. So this news came last night, and it's funny, not in a laughing matter type of funny, but Canvas was hacked by a hacker group called Spy Hunters. They go around and they have breached a lot of well-known companies. We're talking about companies like Ticketmaster. Who else did they get? Some big name companies. But here's the thing. They do something that is called ransomware, where they actually require payment to release the data that they have stolen. This is crazy. This is one of the most prolific attacks to organizations and people around the world, and there's not much you can do about it. So here is what we see happening right now. This company, Spy Hunters, when I say company, it's a hacker group. They actually stole this data and they are putting schools on notice until May 12th to pay or else. So let's talk about who's impacted. We're talking about over 9,000 schools between kindergarten and kindergarten through university schools. Like literally all types of schools use this platform for their educational systems. It's just where students do their actual lab studies, teachers manage grades, submit assignments, actually communicate with their students. Now, here is why this is important to you. Think about a school system, what type of data that they have on an individual. They have your first name, last name. They have your home address. They have your relatives. And sometimes they might even have your social security number. And if it is a school that requires payments of any type, they have your financial information as well. So here is the biggest threat that is happening right now because of this ransomware attack. These scammers can now build profiles as these students to come directly after people like you. Whoa, think about that. With all the AI out here right now, it is entirely too easy to impersonate someone. So now they have the person's personal information, their relatives, where they live. Now here is where it goes to another level. So when I was doing my research on this, let me quote this correctly. They stole messages, all right? Over 3.6 terabytes worth of data, but they also stole billions of messages. Now you may be thinking like, boy, why is that a big deal? Why is that important? Here is why it's important. What makes these AI hacks and all this cloning believable is when it sounds like you. And when you have written content from a person, private messages, how they would normally communicate, you can actually use that to build what they call skills or agents that can write and sound exactly like that person. Let me know in the chat, is that crazy or what? So this is what we're up against. So my recommendation to you is if you have kids, if you have grandchildren that are using Canvas, first find out if they're using Canvas. And if so, reach out to them and establish some type of protocol to confirm their identity before they ask you for something of significance. Because what's going to start happening is you're going to have a bunch of people getting financial aid requests. What I mean is people asking their parents and their grandparents for money, but it may not be them. That's the times we're living in, y'all. It is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. So that's what's going on there. I just wanted to start the video with that. But also, I want to pick back up on some things that we talked about just 2 days ago. We talked about skimmers, and there were some questions there. And so right now, I'm just here to answer your questions. So someone keeps sending me your videos. Please research. Somebody sending you my videos? What does that say? Hey, your notifications, you're great for notifications that others don't bother to cover. Thank you. Thank you. I try to be different. I try to be different. My gift in being unique. Try to be different. Let's say this is paid. It actually is a crime. So here's the thing. When it comes to ransomware, the FBI recommends that companies don't pay the ransom. Think about this for a second. If you pay the ransom, number one, you have no guarantee that you'll get your data back. But number two, you've proven that you'll pay the ransom. Can I tell y'all a crazy story about hackers and ransomware? Do I have y'all's permission? Let me know in the chat if I have your permission to tell you something crazy. You won't find this information I'm about to tell you anywhere in the world. Let me know if I can share it with you. Dun, 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 dun. Just waiting for permission. So I don't have any kids, but I'm here. Okay. Here it is. So these hackers are so sophisticated. What they do is they take advantage of system flaws, vulnerabilities to get access to a system, okay? This is how they create ransomware. They take down systems or whatnot. We live, baby. Yes, this is live. So come with your questions. So here's what they do. Check this out. This blew my mind when I found this out. Hackers are more nice. They're way more nice than you think. What they do is they break into a system through a vulnerability. They get access to it. And then they start to patch and update the system so it doesn't have any future vulnerabilities, so nobody else gets access to that system but them. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? So what happens is it takes an average of 292 days before a company even finds out that they've been breached. So when you see hacks like this come in the news, the company has been breached a long time ago. It just has finally risen to the level where they're asking for money to pay a ransom. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, so that is some insight that I learned from being on the inside of organizations. It's crazy. All right, you said not to tap your card because it does not end the transaction. So let me clarify that. By the way, thank you for your comment and watching the channel. The video that you're referring to on the tap to pay was an actual vulnerability that was discovered in Chase ATMs. Now, keep in mind, I posted that video in 2024, okay? Now, Chase has since then addressed that vulnerability, but I mean, people are still watching the video, so I mean, hey, it's good insight. But ultimately, just confirm that the transaction has actually ended before you walk away from the ATM. That's it. Just confirm. But as last checked, Chase has confirmed to have cleared that vulnerability. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Jay, they are smart. They smart. They really are smart. So I really don't think some hackers just do it for fun. Well, they do. They do. So here's the thing. Let me know if you actually know this. Being a hacker is not a bad thing. It's not. There's a thing a whole profession that is called ethical hacking. Whenever a company is building a new system, especially an internet-facing system like YouTube here is an internet-facing application, you would hire an external consultant unless you have the internal resources to pen test your system, meaning penetration test. You want to see if you can exploit any weaknesses in that system so you can break into it. And how far can you get if you break into it? It's a whole profession. The challenge is those are called ethical hackers. The people that you are seeing that are pulling off all these $1 million hacks and this ransomware, those are unethical hackers. But mainstream media just calls them hackers, and it paints a bad picture about the industry. Paints a bad picture about the industry. Yep. Yes. Yes, they are being very greedy. It's like, it's my server. My server. All right. And so you say that we have to tap the card because of the scammers. Yes, you should still tap the card. Tapping the card is the best way to avoid getting skimmed, because that tap feature bypasses the skimmer that is actually installed on the POS machine. So it's the safest way to go, safest way to pay. And I'm going to say this again. All payment systems, all phones, all tablets, anything online inherently naturally has a vulnerability in it. So there's no surefire way, but there's just some payment channels that are just more secure than others. So what's the difference between hackers today compared to hackers like 20 years ago, in your opinion? Man, that's a good question. And what I would say is speed. So the hackers of 20 years ago, I mean, sure enough, we had a 20 years ago, man, that was right around the time that the YouTube boom started, a little bit. Information wasn't readily available that it is right now. And so the guys that were doing the hacking back then, like, those were computer programmers, like guys with deep coding knowledge. Some of these hackers today, they just know how to use AI. So the level of skill to pull off these big hacks that we're seeing has actually diminished because the level of technology has increased in such a way that people with very little technical skill can use a tool like AI to pull off hacks. Because AI is supposed to have guardrails in it where it won't do certain things, but you can actually manipulate the prompt to have it do nefarious actions if you tell it under the right context, which I'm not going to say on this call. Like I'm in a meeting with my clients or something. I'm not going to say on this video, but it's ways to get around that. Yep. Saying my neighbor on the other side of me is mostly doing it for land grab and for childish BS. Yep. Says great. I try. The beauty of being a security consultant. So I've seen videos where scammer devices ripped off machines and the employees can't even grab it fast enough. Oh, absolutely. So here's one thing to know about these scammer devices. Companies, especially large retail organizations, they are required by this industry standard called PCI DSS, it's payment card industry, to actually inspect those payment devices for tampering and substitution. So they are supposed to go yank, grab, and pull on those payment terminals to confirm that there's no skimmers on there. But here's the problem with that. Most of the people that are in position to do that on a daily basis are people that are underpaid. So I've had to try to help companies develop these strategies to mitigate the risk of these skimmers. The challenge is, for example, like at airports, I was the senior security architect at American Airlines. I had to engineer the process to inspect the kiosks where you can actually buy a ticket at the airports around the world. Now think about who we have at the airport every day. It's gate agents and people that check you in. Those are not IT or cybersecurity people. They're not making IT and cybersecurity money. Therefore, not only is there a little bit of a knowledge gap, but they don't really care. Let's be real. Like at Walmart, your cashier who's getting paid $13 to $20 per hour doesn't care about skimmers. Now, they're required to go check, but are they really going to go through a detailed investigation to determine if a skimmer is there, considering how much they're getting paid? No, I'm not. Probably not at all. Daily basis. Yep. Yep. What did I say? My phone tablet will coming up missing, then show back up randomly. Thought I was using it. Oh man, that's weird. That's weird. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions about skimmers or whatnot, and if you would like me to continue doing these live videos, as a professional speaker, if you will. I prefer to do live videos anyway. It just works better for me. Trying to record some video, it's just like it's too much on the mind. Too much on the mind. Neighbors hacking you. Goodness. All right. By the way, if you are watching this video right now and you have not subscribed to my channel, shame on you. You don't get notified whenever I drop new content. If you subscribe to the channel and you hit that red bell, YouTube will put it right on your homepage so you don't even have to think about it. Or if you have the YouTube app and you have your notifications turned on, it will let you know when I'm live every Tuesdays and Fridays. It will let you know. All right. So I appreciate the both live and taped videos. Maybe I'll get some time for some tape stuff, but for right now, it's going to be live. It just works better for me. It works better. Any more questions before I get out of here? I appreciate y'all hanging out. Very frustrating listening or even casting as we speak. Casting? What kind of casting you doing now? I'm confused. What you talking about? So at least you're showing us you are probably not AI, as in 50% of YouTube videos. Oh yeah, man. Can I talk about that for a second? I need to turn my volume up. My bad. I thought I was good. I will note that next time to turn my stuff up. Is that better? Anyway, so here's the one thing. Like, if y'all, if you are concerned about your career and being replaced by AI, or you have, grandchildren or children that are up and coming and they're concerned, this comment says it all. At the end of the day, the people who will last and outlast this whole AI fad that is right now are the people who can actually communicate what they know. Because you can use a tool all day, but if you don't know how that tool, not necessarily how it works, but why it does what it does, you're never going to be successful long term. And more importantly, you got to know when the AI is wrong. See, a lot of people don't understand that. They just take the AI information, the response is like, look, I got this thing done, without fact checking or understanding how it truly works. You said, now repeat everything you said. Nah, you got the replay for that, baby. You got the replay. But yeah, the people who are going to last are the ones that can actually be able to communicate. So that's what's important. So fear not about AI. But when leveraged correctly, AI is a very powerful tool. A very powerful tool. Hey, I appreciate you, Crystal. I appreciate you. All right. I am going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all have a most wonderful weekend and maybe go play some golf or something. Bye.